video on, do you know the name George Santos?
I don't know.
Okay.
Never heard that.
Okay. How about you, Songji? Have you heard about George Santos?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. Okay. So he is a newly elected congressman from New York, the state of New York. So not the city, the state of New York. And he was found to have falsified a lot of information about himself. So in his resume, he falsified his education, his work experience, his religion, his ethnic background, almost too much, yes. And he's one of the hottest, he's really a hot topic right now in the news stateside. So I thought it would be good to just have a look at it and get to know, okay, this is one of the top news in the US. So we'll be watching that in a minute, just a minute. While we're waiting, Songju, so when are you going?
It's not fixed because I have to get the response from the Embassy of Finland in Seoul.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Something on this show.
Oh, you're going to Gwanghwamun Gyobo building then?
To visit there?
If you're going to the embassy, the Finnish embassy, it's in Gwanghwamun Gyobo building.
Oh, but I sent an email.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I
you
made a
don't-
phone call, but
You don't
They-
have to go?
yes, I guess.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah. The Finland embassy was just right downstairs from where I used to work. So
Mm.
it's on the 18th floor of Gyobo Life Insurance Building.
Woodhengmyeong
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, that building where Gyobo Bookstore is located as well. Okay. Almost ready. And here we, oh, wait a minute. One last thing. Yes. Here we go.
We do something on this show called For Fact's Sake. We take a claim and we fact check it so you don't have to. It's like Velshi Mythbusters, but without urban legends, explosions, and basic science. But in order to do that, I would require at least some facts to be actually factual. And this next tale can only be described as a fairy tale. The amazing, fantabulous life of George Santos, a congressman, a college volleyball champion, a Goldman Sachs alum, allegedly. What little we know about him includes his name, or does it? The freshman congressman is a serial fabulist who has lied about his religion, his ethnicity, his work history, his education, and even his athletic talent. 2 years before his successful run for Congress, Republican officials on Long Island sent the political novice a standard vetting questionnaire to look over his qualifications. The resume that Santos handed over was impressive, almost too impressive. The New York Times obtained a copy of that resume. I've got it right here. It's 2 pages long, and we've highlighted all of the untruths and fabrications that we know of so far. As you could say, it's a glowing resume, just as Mr. Santos intended. Starting with his education, he claimed to have graduated summa cum laude with a 3.89 GPA from Baruch College in 2010. In 2013, the document claims that he earned an MBA from New York University. I'm going to try my best Maury Povich impression here. Very basic fact checking has determined that was a lie. Officials at both schools told our affiliate there is no record of Santos ever attending. Moving on to his job history, Mr. Santos claimed to work for Citigroup and that he more than doubled revenue as a project manager at Goldman Sachs. But don't bank on that. Very basic fact checking has determined that he was also lying about that. Representatives from both companies told our NBC affiliate that there's no record of Santos ever having worked at either Citibank or Goldman Sachs. Now, according to the New York Times, a small group of well-connected Republican campaign officials knew that most of George Santos's life and resume was a lie well before the public did, but Santos insisted on running anyway, and he won. And now the list of lies have just gotten longer. Becoming almost impossible to keep up with the tangled web of lies that Mr. Santos has spun. Remember that degree from Baruch College he never attended? Nassau County Republican officials told the New York Times he told them that he was a star volleyball player, leading Baruch's team to a championship. In fact, he said specifically that he was a striker because every detail actually counts. He claimed that he was a, quote, proud American Jew, but recently tried to rectify that by claiming he never claimed to be Jewish. Rather, he meant he was Jew-ish, whatever that means. There's no evidence that his family is any kind of Jewish or Jewish. This one is truly bizarre. His mother apparently died twice. Last July, he tweeted that, quote, 9/11 claimed my mother's life. But 5 months later, he tweeted again saying his mother had died in 2016. And then there's the question of his finances. According to the New York Times, he loaned his campaign $700,000 of his own money, but reported making only $55,000 a year back in 2020. Yet 2 years later, poof, his company, the DeVolder organization, is suddenly worth more than $1 million. Maybe it's those revenue building skills he learned from Goldman Sachs where he didn't work. Or maybe he owns a magic oil lamp with a genie inside. We've said it on this show before. George Santos thinks he can pull off a catch me if you can style scheme, but he's not as smart as the character played by Leonardo DiCaprio. When Mr. Santos's house of lies began to cave in, he said he made some mistakes. He admitted to, in his words, embellishing his resume and apologized for doing so, but he's not backing down. Despite calls from Democrats and Republicans to resign and several investigations into his fraudulent statements, Mr. Santos says, quote, I was elected by 142,000 people until those same 142,000 people tell me they don't want me. We'll find out in 2 years. Oh, do you mean these people, Mr. Santos?
I want this man out. I want him out. He had the nerve to say that in 2 years you can vote me out. I don't answer to politicians. I answer to my constituents. Well, I'm one, and I want him out.
It's pretty devastating that, we as a community have voted this man in without checking his credentials.
He said he's not resigning.
I think that's really disappointing. I think the people of Long Island deserve better.
I think he should step down. I think it's just too much. Nobody's going to want to work with them. It's just too much bad blood now.
He can go out. I don't consider him fit to shine my shoes.
Not a volleyball champion, and he doesn't appear to be a champion of the people either. The voters did not elect you, Mr. Santos. They elected a version of you invented by your imagination. Sadly, George Santos represents so much that is wrong today. Lies, denial, and the death of shame.
Okay. How was it? Was it difficult to understand?
Not so difficult.
Yes. Because it was almost one person speaking throughout the news. I think it wasn't that difficult.
Maybe he has some kind of mental problem. Why he do that?
Maybe. Maybe he has one of those things that they call Ripley syndrome or
Right. And I heard American really hate this kind of line. Is
yes.
very sensitive about this kind of line.
Yeah, but if Trump was very popular, not popular, but very well known for his fake news as well. And Trump is still backed by many Americans, supported by many Americans. So I think that's why at the end, the person that we saw speaking, his name is Velshi, and Velshi mentioned that the death of shame here, the death of shame, 창피함의 사망. So it seems a lot of, I mean, because of social media, because of YouTube, there are so many people who spread fake news and fake identities, like this person here who eventually was elected to be a congressman for the state of New York as a Republican. So yeah,
He did not resign yet.
he's not resigning.
Oh.
Yes, he's been telling the people. I saw an interview that he did I didn't see the whole thing, but very briefly he was saying, I mean, Biden's doing a lot of lies, making a lot of lies. Why do they blame me, only me? Why don't they blame Biden? Yeah, he mentioned something like that. But I don't think Biden went to this degree of lying. There were even some articles that mentioned that the name George Santos may not be real as well. Yes. Oh, so they mentioned about he claiming to be Jewish. What he told the public was that his parents, so he's told to be from Brazil. So he's an immigrant from Brazil. And he told people that his grandparents were died during the Holocaust. Yes, and that he's a very proud Jew. And it turned out his parents were not Jew. They were not killed in the Holocaust. So yeah.
I was curious about the verification system of the USA.
Yeah.
When he was a candidate for the congressman, there should be some verification process.
And it seems to be a bit different from ours. And so the commission for, I don't know what its official name is. Let me check. So the Central Election Management Committee, which is 선관위 in Korea. I think, I mean, in the States, they may have something similar, but I think it's all mainly the responsibility of both parties to check. And like what the person in this news was saying is that some Republicans were aware that the career and life of George Santos was fabricated, but they still went on because the district that he won was previously held by a Democrat. And they saw George Santos as a chance of winning that seat from the Democratic Party. So I think they were inclined, I mean, they were more leaned toward to just stay quiet and have Mr. Santos win the election if possible. maybe, yeah. So, did you hear this word, summa cum laude?
No.
Okay,
Mhm.
so it's in Korea, you'd probably say it's very equivalent to 수석 졸업.
Yes, wooden 졸업.
Yeah. So almost top of his graduation year.
Is it English expression?
No, it's actually Latin.
Uh-huh.
So there's cum laude, then magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. It's like cum laude would be like 우수상. Magna cum laude would be somewhere close to being 최우수상, and summa cum laude being like 대상, something like that. Yeah. Yes, and it kind of reminded me of what's happening back home. So, yeah. Watching Korean news these days is really it gives me a lot of laughs, actually. And yeah, President Yoon should never go overseas. He should not travel overseas. Okay. Anything else that you want to mention, Songji? You're quiet today.
I have a question about the word Jewish.
Jewish? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
the reporter said the word Jewish two different way, like
Yes.
Jewish and Jewish. So I wanted to
Yes.
know the difference. Why he
Okay.
mentioned like that.
So yes. So here it is. So so what Mr. Santos is saying that he's now claiming that he never mentioned that he's Jewish, which Jewish means 유대인의 in Korean, but
Yes.
he is Jewish, which could mean 유대인 같은, 유대인스러운. Yeah. So not exactly 유대인, not a Jew, but something like a Jewish. So if you if you put ish at the end, it usually means something like 뭐뭐 같은 in Korean. Yeah. So that's what he's now claiming, that he never mentioned that he's Jewish. He's Jewish. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why in the news, the reporter, the anchor, when he pronounced this word, he was saying not Jewish, Jewish. Yes, separately.
Is it called the Ripley symptom? This kind of man?
I mean, I'm not quite sure, but Ripley. Yeah. So Ripley syndrome is from the movie.
Right.
Or is it a novel as well? I'm not quite sure. I know the movie. And so this person, Ripley, pretends to be someone else, fabricates his identity and pretends to be someone else and tries to live the life of that other person. And he actually believes that he's that person.
Oh yes, it's different with this.
So I guess in a way it could be seen as something similar. I mean, he's lying about his identity, and it's so convincing, and now he's claiming that it's all a truth. So usually, from my understanding, if you have Ripley syndrome, you just can't admit. Oh, it's from a famous book. Okay, so you usually, those people can't really admit that they're lying. Oh, come to think of it, George Santos did admit that some of the information that he's provided is a lie. But he's saying that he will not resign because about 14,000 or 140,000 or 14,000. I don't remember the exact number. Voted for him. Yes. So he's claiming that he represents those people. Yeah. 42,000 people. 142,000 people. So 14만 2천. About 14만 2천 명 voted for him. Yeah. So that's why they did an interview with those other people, because they said he should resign. And they're from that area that he was elected, I guess.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yes. Okay. Anything else? Nothing? So if you're interested, there's plenty of news about this person, George Santos. So go and have a look. Oh, and I forgot to share this with you. I'll just provide this link on the Kakao Talk group, Kakao Talk. Yeah, since we're streaming this live anyway. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll post it here. I'll paste it here and also on Kakao Talk. So if you're interested, go and have a look. And if you're interested about this person, there's, as I told you, there's plenty of news about him. So go and have a look as well. And yeah. So as I told Aiki, my sister is coming with her family, so I'll be traveling to another city in Indonesia next week on Sunday and Monday. So unfortunately, I won't be able to come here on Monday. I won't be here on Monday. I think we'll arrange someone else to take my place. Oh, sorry. Just a minute. Oh. Yeah. So I hope you all have a good holiday with your family and loved one.
You too.
Yeah. And Kwanyang, take good care of your second son.
Thank you. Hope you have a wonderful and safe trip.
Yes, thank you. And Aiki, you as well, have a safe trip to Jeju-do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sungji, you going anywhere?
Maybe I will visit my grandmother's house.
Oh, is
On
it far
Sunday?
away or nearby?
No, it's so
Nearby or so you won't be traveling that
that's far.
Okay. Well, enjoy your holidays. Enjoy the food, which I will miss greatly. Yes, I will miss my mom's food. Yes.
Mhm.
Ah,
Have a great time.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
thank you
too.
for
All of you.
today.
Thank you. Have a good holiday.
Yes, have a good holiday, and I'll see you next week on Thursday.
See
Or
you.
See you.
bye-bye.
Bye bye.